Okay, here we are. We are back inside MatrixGold once again. Thanks for tuning in. Hope the videos are helping your designing process. If they are, please smash that subscribe button, tap on that notification bell for further content, leave me a like, and I would really absolutely appreciate any comments. There's going to be a lot into this one. I would like to know if it was understandable because there's going to be a lot here. And it's difficult to explain. So hopefully I can do a good job for you. But let's go ahead. We're going to be talking about since we are in Matrix 3.8, Rhino 8, we're going to be talking about the Align Cplane, right? Auto Align Cplane. And we're also going to do a little bit of talking about Cplane for users that have 3.7 and lower, or Rhino 7 and lower on their programs. So let's go ahead and get set up here. We're going to grab a solid box, and and I highly recommend going in and drawing out these kind of things and practicing with this until you get a good idea of how they are used and everything. It'll make it easier for you. I'm going to go ahead and grab me a curve. Well, before I do that, let's grab this box here. I'm going to hold down Alt and just duplicate it over, and then select there, and then grab me a curve, and we'll go to yellow here, and I'll draw me a line coming across something like this. And now there's a thing that we can do with Auto Cplane on this that was really cool, but we'll get to that later. We'll go ahead and select this, and we will do a trim, and I'll just trim that little section off right there so we have that angle. And then I'll go ahead and right click to accept it, and then select our curve and delete it. We don't need our curve, and I'm not worried about history, so I'm going to my surface, the old sweep too, so I don't have to dupe my lines to do the sweep. And I'll just select here, 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 and here, enter, and we'll just change this to another layer so that we know it's out there. So we have this planar surface here, and we have an open surface, and we have a solid surface. And it duped that one as well because I did not break history. So I'm going to go back. See, because now it's back to there, and I'll just take this and move it just a little to break history on that. And now I'll go ahead and select this and do that trim real quick again, and then hit enter, and then get rid of that and do my sweep too. Sorry about that. 1, 2, 3, 4, enter, and take that and switch it. Okay, so these are separate. Now I'm going to select this top by super selecting it, right? Going to hold down shift and control and selecting just this top surface. And I'll go to my 2D handle, and I'll hold down shift so it'll be 3D, and then make a little pyramid. And right now they're sharing the common plane there. We're going to go ahead, drag that up a little bit, and we'll drag it back a little bit, something like that. And we'll go to solids again and just grab a ball, and we'll just put a ball out here. We'll change that to green, and we'll go ahead and move that up around here, something like that. So I have these out here, and now I'll switch to my creation layer. We want to grab a couple curves for all the other people that do not have Rhino 8 or a 3.8 MatrixGold. I'm going to grab a curve, and I'm just going to draw a straight curve out here at an angle, and then I will go to my freeform curve, and we'll just do a little freeform action, something like this. And right now they're planar, so we'll just go ahead and grab that one, and we'll just kind of jack this one up a little bit. We'll drag that up there. We'll drag this one down to show you other commands that you have available to use in your designing process. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit escape and get rid of those points. All right, so we have those, and there's a couple more things that we want to play around with, and that'll be a box, and we'll just draw a little box out here, and a circle, and we'll grab that as well. Okay. All right, so now we can get going on the program. These are shared. They're right there on our Cplane, right? And everything else is kind of off a little bit. So let's go ahead. The first way we can activate Auto Cplane is to go into our command line and type in AUTO Auto Align Cplane, and then hit enter. right? And now we have some options here. Enable, yes, no, turn it on and off, right? So turn on, turn off, we'll leave it on. And we can select object mode, we can select world mode, view mode, or cycle through all those three, right? What we're going to stick mostly with is object mode, but world mode will attempt to keep the X and Y axis of the C-plane aligned with the closest world axis. And view is just view, basically. View is basically attempts to keep the C plane Y aligned to the camera up of the view. All right, but we're going to focus on object for this content, and we have sticky no and sticky yes. We'll leave it at no to start with, and we're just going to go ahead and accept it. So enter or right click. So now it's activated, enabled auto C-plane, right? And now we can select items, and it'll change it. Anything with a single surface, right? If we go to here, it just goes back to our default. If we go to here, it doesn't go anywhere. But if we go, we can get it to our lines, or we can get it to any subsurface, right? So we can pick things very quickly. It will not go to lines, which we're going to talk about later. If we hold down Shift Control, we can sub-select and it'll go to, you cannot, like if I try to sub-select this one to move it over, I have two selected, so it's not going to move. So if I click off of it and then hold down Shift Control and then select this surface, it'll go back. So you need to click off and then click back on, click off, click back on, hold down Shift Control to sub-select those surface. But I'm going to show you some hints as we move forward to make those kind of things a little easier. So that's our first way of doing it, is just going to our command line and typing in auto align C-plane, enabling it on or off, changing it to what mode we want, and sticky no yes. So right now it's at no, right? So I'll just take that again, and I'll go to this subsurface, and you can see if I click off of it, right, it's going to go right back to our default setting. If I hold down Shift Control and select this surface, and then I click on another one, it will change there. But if I click off into nowhere or on an object, it's going to go back to our default setting, right? So that's sticky, basically. So you can, if you don't want it stuck at one item, right, you can do that. Just put sticky no. But we'll go ahead back here and we'll change it to yes this time. Okay, and then we'll hit enter. Now when we go to this object and I go to here, it's not going to, but if I sub-select something else or take it to another object, it will go to that object, right? Now here's something. Now I have two selected, so it's not transferring, right? But if I just pick one, it'll go to it. Now here's something that's there. I have it on, right? But if I click in mid space, it's not going to, I'm clicking, you know, down in here and it's not doing anything. It's not moving. It's sticking to that surface or that item, right? But if I go from here to here, it's not changing, right? Well, what's going on? Well, it's because these are sharing a plane. It's already planar on that surface, right? But if I take this one and I move it out some, it will go and align to that surface. So be aware, if it's not changing, it's probably because it's already on that, it's already planar on that surface. So keep that in mind. And again, you can't change it to curves, right? And I have two selected, so I'll go here and we can change it. But if I click back here, you know, I'm clicking on other things and it's not moving. It's not going back to my default settings. So that's what sticky does. And we'll turn that off, and we'll just actually turn this all off and hit enter, and it goes back to our default settings. Okay, and we can start selecting things and doing everything that we want to do. Now, another way of acting that activating it, which I think is very, very useful, is we have our Rhino commands in here. If you don't know how, I've made several videos of this, but I'll go ahead and do it one more time in case you're watching for the first time. So I'll type in options and then hit enter, and our Rhino options will pop up. We'll go to toolbars, and in Rhino 3.8 it's here, but you can, if it's you're in Rhino 3.7 or earlier, or MatrixGold 3.5 or earlier, you can scroll down there and find Rhino tab standard tools 16, click on it and hit OK, and it will load them up there, right? And then all you have to do, it'll load them up like this. Just take it, if I can grab it, oh, maybe it's over here, yeah, and then just drag it up and dock it wherever you want. But we have all the commands in here, right? And now we can go to Cplane, and right here there is a toggle for auto Cplane. So if we click on that, you can see enabled automatic Cplane alignment. It's already enabled, so now I can go and start selecting on items that I want. It will not give you the sticky option, so if you're wanting the sticky option, you'll have to use the other way, but this is very quick. You can, and then you can hold down shift control and select, well, I have two selected, shift control, and you can select subsurfaces very quickly, right, by holding down shift control. Now there's another hint. Right now we have it on. Here in Rhino or MatrixGold 3.8, I believe your section filters are already set in here as default, so you can go in here and click on both of these. But if they're not, let's say that they're not in here, just in case, right here you can go to, well, before we go to, let's say they're not there. So right here you can see that I have the OSNAP. You can turn on any of these and it will load it in this bar here, in our selection filter. If I turn that off, it's like, oh no, how do I get that in there? My gear's gone. And if I go to these gears, it'll go to MatrixGold's options for the most part, right? It's very easy though. All you have to do is go to your command line, type in SELE selection filter, hit enter, and it'll say that your selection filter windows is hidden, new value, and show. So hide or toggle. We just want to go ahead and show it. So now it's back, right? And you have your toggle back out, or your gear back out here, to be able to add other toolbars in there if you wanted to, or you could add well, toolbars or tool panels right in here. So that's one way to get it. All right, and I think we are still active. Let's try disabled. Let's go back and activate it. Right now we can use our selection filters sub objects, right, and click on that. So now we have our sub objects selected. Now we can switch it to any surface we want very quickly by just and we don't have to hold down shift control. It automatically go to those surfaces for us, just by holding down, or not by, just by clicking the one button. But there is one thing it will not do, is it will not pick curves. It will not go to your curves, because what it's doing is picking that one curve, right? Because it's a sub object of that square, and this is just a one curve going around, so it's not going to select. Well, if you select the whole thing, it will, but if you try to select it by itself, it will not. Okay, so you might want to turn this off if you want to go to like a square or something like that, or you could turn it on. I don't know. Let's see if I select the whole thing. And no, it's not going to do it. But there, you can go there though, right? And this way is very quick, and then you can just toggle it off, go back to and do your editing. If you need it back again, just turn it back on, and select your items, right? So it's very quick and very handy that you can do that with, right? Okay. So that kind of takes care of the auto Cplane. This is the toggle switch in RC, and you can use it with selection filters down here, sub objects, which is really cool. Now, Cplane, for all you 3.5 or 3.5 and earlier in MatrixGold, you can still have all these options available basically, and they are all right in here as well. But you can go in here and just type in Cplane, CPL. Well, go in here type in a Cplane, and we have all these available. So first thing, let's go to check out this first one, all no yes. So if you just hit no and I take this and I place it there, well, let's see here. I'll bring that back, Cplane. I'll go to yes, and we'll just move that Cplane to right here. And you can see it moved it into all the viewports. Is now our F4 is right there on that corner, right there on that corner, and right there on that corner there. So that's, you can align that Cplane to any point by just going and picking a point. So right there's our mid. So if, well, let's change this right here, a quad. So we'll just go here and align it all to yes, and it moves it right there to the bottom of that, and that C point, or that F4 is right now at that quad, right? So you can go in there and mess around with that. I'll go ahead and turn it to no. And then just right click or just enter. We don't want it. All right, so I'll go back and we'll go to curve now. Now I can select a curve, right? Select this curve and draw it anywhere on this curve. And if you have your snaps on, you can snap it to your mid, you can snap it to your end, wherever you want. I'll just right click off of that. I'll right click back on, we'll go back to curves and we'll select this one here. Again, if you have your mid snaps on or your end snaps, it'll automatically snap. You can place it anywhere you want, right? One other thing that we can do is, let's turn this off for a second. Right now it's, it's like, oh man, it's locked in a bad position. Don't worry about it. If you ever get it to where you can't figure out how to get it back, the only thing you have to do is go to view, go to restore viewports, and it will just take it right back to the default settings. So no big deal. So let's go in here and activate our Cplane option again, and we'll go, well, before we do that, let's take our curve. Say this, we have a curve that we want to lay certain things out on with points, right? So we can go ahead and divide that curve by X amount of points, and then we can go into our Cplane command, and we can go to curve, select our curve, and now we can set that Cplane to any one of those points evenly laid out. So it's very easy to lay out that Cplane, right? And again, if you need to figure out what's going on, you can always go back to restore viewports. Right, so it's really kind of useful in that respect if you're trying to lay out certain different things equally apart to flow or whatever. You can do that if you didn't want to use your center command or whatever. You're not doing squares or something. You're doing more detailed work. But let's go to this one here and let's bring back that command here, Cplane, and let's go to curve, and we can do the same thing. But this one, you'll notice that it's going with that curve, right? So that Cplane is setting up in all different directions along that curve according to the norms of that curve, right? So we could set, so now it's got right on that area there, the Cplane is going through. So you can adjust it to wherever you want on that Cplane or on that curve, right? All right, so let's see here. Got that. We talked about filters. We talked about going in here to Cplanes, toggling on and off. Okay, more down here in Cplane. So let's go to Cplanes. Elevation, it will change the elevation of your Cplane. We can take it to the upside, type in 5, hit enter. It drops it down. Go in here, and actually you can just select the area you want it to go to, and you can see it bumped it up there. So elevation is just a way to, you can type it in or you can move where you want it as well. So let's go to elevation, and we're going in the other direction here because that one was activated. Let's see if we can activate this one. Elevation just moves your, there we go. Okay, now we got it. Elevation. And you can move it to wherever you want it. Let's see, gumball. Gumball's a good one. So let's go ahead and grab this one. We have our gumball activated right there through the center of this. We can go to gumball. Well, first we need to activate that command. We can go to gumball and it will move that plane right through the center of our object, but I must have missed it there. Let's see. Cplane, gumball. There we go. Now it goes right through our item there. So that we could start doing other design around that item or something like that with the Cplane on there, right? And if you go to the top viewport, I believe, let's go in here, top viewport, gumball, and, well, let's see. Oh, let's deactivate it. Let's go here, go down here, Cplane, gumball. Oh, it's still there. Okay. But you can set it anywhere you want with the gumball, right? So you have your gumball here. You can always go and relocate your gumball, right? So let's relocate a gumball. Go in here and grab your handle here, relocate, and you can relocate your gumball wherever you want, in any direction that you want. And then you can go down here to your Cplane. And then go to gumball and it will take it to that area depending on how you lay out your points, right? Just FYI. What else we got here in gumball or Cplane? Objects is basically the same thing that you have in Autoaligncplane, except this one you can't just switch real quick, right? You have to come back and go to Cplane, hit object, and then hold down shift control, and then you can switch to those, right? So Cplane, object, this one here. To change it, you'll have to keep coming back to pick whatever surface you want to align the gumball to. Let's see, a curve. You can align it on the curve. Let's see, we already did that kind of. Cplane, rotate, surface. Surface is pretty much the same thing. You can locate it on a specific surface at a certain angle with directions laid out however you want. And why would you really want all this? Well, we'll toggle on auto and we'll put sub on and we'll select that surface so it auto aligned it. So we'll go ahead back to the surface. Now we can go to our curves. We can grab a circle, and I'm in my perspective and I'm just drawing it out there, right? Which would be very difficult to do with the without having that on the Cplane. And then we can go to surface. We can go to push pull, select our curve. Oh, we have sub on. We have to turn that off. Go to our curve, go to our surface, and we can do a push pull there, right? And then accept that, and then get rid of that original surface, and we have that one there, right? And then we could go to turn on our sub objects again, select this one, turn off those, go back to our curves. Go to, let's see, I'll go to a star here, and I'm still in my perspective, right? And I'm just laying my star out there, or hexagon, or polygon, sorry. Yeah, and then I can do that push pull again, go to here, and do my push pull, or whatever design work I want to do by dragging that plane around to where we want it, right? And turn that back on. Go to sub-object, and we can start. I disabled it. There we go. There. I mean, very quickly, even on the inside of those surfaces there, you could set it up where you could do even more design. The last one, let's just go back to our Cplane here. Let's see, Cplane, object, and you could set it to an object, right? Any object. Let's see, Cplane, object, this one. So now it's right there on the end of our ball, right? So there's lots of options. You can even go in here and do a C. I mean, you can redo the gumball itself and do a gumball, or you could go to 3 points and do kind of the same thing. We'll go to the mid here, take it over to here, and then take it up to there, and you can move it like that as well. So there's all kind of options available, but I think the toggle switch right here and then activate with the selection filters, sub filters, is very quick and easy to change that up. So enabled, right, we can go through there. Can't select it with that, but if we turn that off, we can select them with that, right? So hopefully this helps, and if it does, please leave me a like, leave a comment if this was understandable. There's a lot in here, and like I said, I think it's best just to go ahead and lay out stuff like this and start just playing around with the auto, with the sub objects, and then picking things and dragging around and then going back to your Cplane command and playing around with your commands here. Of course, there's undoing that there. There's also, if you go to view Cplane, you can undo Cplane change or redo Cplane change right here as well. So hopefully that helps. And again, one last thing, get it to where it's just kind of crazy and you don't know how to get it back, just go to view and go to restore viewports and you're back to your defaults. Just make sure you disable your auto Cplane so that it's not jumping all over the place again. So hopefully that helps. One more time, thanks for watching Good Designing, and I really appreciate all the support. I can't tell you how much I am very thankful, but good designing.